grow up, learn who you are, find out who you really are, what you can do. Everyone is put here with something to do. And if more of us find out what that is, we'll have a better chance to survive. There might be a chance for another generation, but I doubt it at the rate we're going.
Yeah.
This may, in all probability, be the last generation of life, as we see it, as human beings. But if people would take up the torch and do something, we may achieve our purpose. We may attain our goal. But if we keep going like we are, the next generation doesn't have a chance.
What do you think that ultimate goal is for the next generation?
To attain some type of stability. Food source, water source, land source, and to educate children so that they would mature both mentally and psychologically and physically to endure whatever happened with them and to them. Better food, better air, better quality of life, and some nourishing liquids to sustain their, their sustainability. The bad water, the bad air, the lack of land space isn't the problem. The problem is consumption. And you have to know what's good for you. No one is going to tell you or explain to you what's good for you. You have to know what's good for you. And in order to do that, you have to make a lot of mistakes. And, people frown on mistakes. They don't like to make mistakes. See? And you're a very stupid person if you make mistakes. You're a dumb person if you make mistakes. You're not right if you make mistakes. You're not very smart if you make mistakes. But if they would give us our world back and let us handle our own business and make mistakes, we'd be a lot better off. And we wouldn't hate each other so much, because we'd all be in the same place. We'd all be on the same level, balance. And we'd help each other. Years ago, when a community needed a mechanic, there was a mechanic in the community. Years ago, when people needed an electrician, there was an electrician living in the community. Years ago, when people needed their house built or repairs made on their home, the whole community made an afternoon of it and fixed up their neighbor's house, painted it, fixed the windows and doors, did home repairs. They don't do that anymore.
Now, a lot of people in this American society would probably be opposed to that because it's anti-capitalist. and maybe a lot would say, "Oh, that's communist," or "Oh, that's socialist." How would you respond to people like that?
They have a way of putting words in people's mouths and ideas in their head. I would say, what is a capitalist? What is a communist? What is a radical? What is a subversive? What is a militant? What is a warrior, if not to defend the people? And if you would look at all these words that these people use to describe neutrality or equality or segregation, they all mean root and beginning and going ahead and moving ahead. All of them words that they use: subversive, radical, conservatory, observation, discrimination, culturation, assimilation. They all mean to move on, to move ahead, to move in, to move out, to get on with it. These English-speaking people should go back to school and educate themselves in the process of living, rather than try to stop people from living. Because that's what they're doing. They're disrupting the people who are trying to live. They call them protesters. They call them infiltrators. They call them mobsters. They call them gangsters. They call them hoodlums. But again, if you look at all these words and their eddies, their counterparts, their idiosyncrasies, they are all connected to that universal order of life called coexistence. When God said, "Go out and repopulate the world," they literally took that to go out and take over the world, dominate the world, control the world. He didn't mean that. He meant in relationship to, or in connection to, or unification, unity, coming together. And that could still happen. This could be a beautiful world.